Celebrating Star Trek Voyager's 25th anniversary, I am delighted to be joined by the show's illustrious cast to talk about their characters' legacies and Voyager's ongoing impact on both Star Trek and the sci-fi community at large. Please welcome my next incredible guests, Kate Mulgrew, Robert Picardo, Robert McNeill, Garrett Wang, Tim Russ, and Ethan Phillips. Thank you guys for joining me today. It's Star Trek Day! Happy Star Trek Day!
Yay! Happy Star Trek Day!
You should be complimented on your blue background. It's very, what's the word? If you had a star field, it would be even cooler, but the blue by itself is good.
Thank you. I didn't pick it out. My parents picked it out. But
Well, then please extend my
Compliment them.
Yes.
It's a good visual effects blue. So
it's a good key blue. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is a good key blue.
Yep. Well, if you guys want to key something around me, like a star field, it'll be great. But as for now, it's just a nice blue. Well, as I mentioned earlier, 2020 marks the 25 years since Star Trek Voyager first aired on television. So to start off with all of you guys, how does it feel to have reached such a significant milestone for this show?
Well, I will jump in and say, I remember when we first started on Voyager, Paramount invited us to the taping of a original series. I want to say it was the 25th anniversary of the premiere of the original series.
It was the 30th anniversary.
Was it the 30th? Do you remember that?
Yeah, where everyone was dressed up and we had Paramount Studios. That was the 30th anniversary of Star Trek.
I remember thinking, wow, those guys are so old. And here we are.
Yes, here we
in the
are.
same boat.
Yeah. Really, a great way to get things rolling there, Robbie. Thanks for that.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Time is so strangely telescopic. I don't feel that we're old. I feel that we're the same, and I feel that we're just as we were then, a bunch of nitwits, happily being blasted out of a cannon. At least that's how I felt, and very excited and very privileged in my case, of course. And I loved each one of you. It was just a great thing. I still feel that way.
Oh, it looks like we have, hold on.
Oh, who?
Somebody would like to say hello really fast.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Holy
Hello.
moly.
Look at that.
There you are. You.
Oh my
This is so-
gosh.
You got the wrong room, man. You got the wrong show. You're down the hall.
It's good to see you all.
So good to see you.
Great to see
Good to
you.
see you, Lavar. How are you?
I'm really well, really, really well. Garrett, you're having a good hair day.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Lavar, you're a part of our show. You're a part of our family. You directed with us.
Well, when I told him I was heading up this panel, he said that he would like to come say hi.
I'm
So
so
good to
glad
see
you did,
you.
Lavar.
Great
You
to
look
see you,
terrific.
Lavar.
Great to see you.
I love y'all.
All right.
Love you
You too,
too.
buddy.
All right, buddy.
You stay safe.
Take care, Lavar.
Just to pull it back to where we were at, I agree with Kate. The 2.5 decades, honestly, it's gone by so quickly. I think the beginning, the premiere of Voyager really, for me, and I think for the rest of my castmates, it really does seem like yesterday. It doesn't seem like that much time has gone past at all.
Well, after a quarter of a century, sorry to keep bringing that up, this series continues to stay on the radar thanks to some video and streaming services, like CBS All Access. And it seems like new generations of fans are discovering Voyager all the time. So how often do you find new people are watching the show for the very first time, tweeting at you, letting you know?
Oh, I've had that experience a number of times. Sometimes wonder, how many photographs I've signed over the years, and I keep thinking I must have covered everyone by now. But in fact, it's because new people are tuning into the show and watching the show for the first time, or they're having their kids watch the show, and all of a sudden there's new fans.
It really doesn't matter when somebody starts watching Star Trek. If they start watching with the new JJ movies, they get hooked with that, and then they start investigating backwards. They start seeing like, oh, okay, let me watch TNG, the original series, Voyager, Enterprise. So wherever someone enters into their fandom of Star Trek, they then check out everything else. So that's why we always have new fans.
Wonderful thing about Star Trek staying evergreen is that people constantly rewatch it, and we remain in their minds the way we looked 25 years ago. So that's a good thing,
And we mentioned earlier how important the Star Trek family, not only the fandom, but the internal family is. So I gotta know. You guys were so excited to see each other coming into the Zoom, but do you still keep in touch after all this time?
Some more than others, but yes, we do. Of course we do. John Ethan's in New York. I see him there. I'm in regular contact with Robbie McNeill because we've shared children together, as you know, Mica.
Yes, we have to, keep up with the salamander children, exactly.
Roberto, I see you all the time.
Tim and I probably, what do we say, we text about 50 times a day for the last 5 years.
Oh yeah. Ethan and I are in touch via text all the time.
And I see Ethan all the time when I'm in New York. We have a dedicated breakfast or lunch place. And I see Robbie all the time when I can. And Tim, I don't see enough, but I still see Tim at events, and the same thing with Garrett. And Garrett and I talk on the phone quite a bit or text. So I'm in contact with pretty much everybody, at one point or another during the year.
For you, Kate, Voyager was a real trailblazer in the Star Trek, featuring the series' first female lead and, a captain at that. So can you talk a little bit about why Janeway is still a valuable role model today in 2020?
I was overwhelmed initially, Mica. It happened so fast. I only had a few days to get my wits and find my sea legs, which in fact I did not find for about 6 months. It was daunting. The technobabble was just a spectacular challenge to me because I'd always prided myself on being able to endow any character with nuance and subtlety. But that went right out the window, just trying to grasp the language itself. Add to that being the first female and the importance of that responsibility. And I was really up against it for a few months until I finally said to myself, you've got to just let it go. The audience is going to come or it's not. You've got to forget the brass. The Paramount brass used to stand there and watch me. UPN would come and watch me. I don't know, but it translated into they're watching me to wait to see if I will fail this. And I was quite nervous about it until I just said, no more. Stop fooling around with my hair, my shoes, my breasts, my waist, all of it. Let me speak the language. Let me speak it the way I believe it to be true and authentic. And then let's go. And I had a remarkable 7 years with these guys. It was life altering. It really did change everything, as it did for these gentlemen, I'm sure.
And there's are multiple Roberts today, so I'm gonna address this one to Mr. Picardo. Your character was also very unique to Star Trek, being a hologram crew member. And I wonder if you can explain what fascinated you most about playing the Doctor.
It was that I didn't have to obey the rules that most any other actor playing a Starfleet character would have to do. Because he was a new technology, because we didn't quite know how he would behave, we didn't know how he would work. He was supposed to be a willful piece of technology that was designed with emotional subroutines, so he had a bedside manner, but most of his emotions seemed focused on his experience rather than yours. So I was most surprised, I guess, to find out that they had this vision and, that he was going to be really like Data, but different, because he had a new capability Data didn't have, which was supposedly to feel emotion and then to grow emotionally as well as his capabilities, his technical capabilities. So, and also the character wanted to make himself more useful to the cast, which was a very nice thing to play, that he wanted to enhance his worth to his crewmates as he grew to have more feelings for them.
Well, now I want to talk about best friends Tom Paris and Harry Kim. So Robert, Garrett, your characters were always so much fun to watch together. Why do you think those guys had such a strong magnetic bond on screen?
I think Tom and Harry were secretly in love with each other. That's pretty much the...
Secretly? What do you mean secretly? I think it was obvious.
Well,
I would say that, Garrett and I started rewatching this series this year. On a podcast we decided to do together during quarantine. And it's been really fun for me because I was amazed in that pilot episode of in so many little subtle ways, that relationship was created in the very first episode by going into Quark's bar when we were headed to the Voyager for the first time. And Quark is trying to hustle him over some junk, rocks or something. And Paris comes in, low by crystals, and Paris comes in and sees what's going on and protects him. And then Harry stands up for Paris later on to some of the Maquis and some of the Starfleet as well. So,
when you're talking about duos in Star Trek history, you'd be hard pressed to find a more popular duo than Tom and Harry. Tom and Harry really did make a mark in a lot of people's minds. And I think part of it is, as individuals, Robbie, McNeill, and myself, if you look at Chinese astrology, the belief is that if you are 4 years apart, increments of 4 years apart, 4, 8, 12, 16, 24, whatever, any increment of 4, that is the best relationship, whether it's business, personal, or you name it. That's the best relationship. Robbie is exactly 4 years older than me. He is Year of the Dragon. I am Year of the Monkey. Monkeys and dragons are historically very good friends. So I think that also lent to this partnership being so well received by the fandom.
All the seeds of that, like my memory was, it was 7 years of this growing relationship where these characters that blossomed over such a long period of time. But in many ways, I think the writers created such wonderful characters in the very first episode we ever did. The seeds of what the Doctor became, this, the backstory of Neelix and his relationship with Kes and how strong that was, and Kate's commitment to her crew and being responsible, and the relationship that Tuvok and the captain had. All of these things were so beautifully done in that first episode.
Don't you guys think that the intensity of the situation lent itself to forming relationships quickly and deepening them quickly? I don't know if you felt as I did, but I was constantly on tenterhooks. I mean, it was the language, it was the hitting the marks, and the stuff on the bridge was so diabolically difficult that I'd often just lean on you guys, look at you for support, and it worked. It really did.
And that franchise was at its peak in the mid-90s. When we came on, Next Gen was so big, and DS9 was in the air, and the movies were coming back, and this juggernaut of a franchise, Star Trek as a franchise, was huge. And I do agree with you, Kate. I think we all felt a sense of terror on some level that we were jumping into this thing that was so big and cresting.
To Tim, I would really love to know how you approached playing the resident Vulcan on Voyager, because it's such a unique opportunity getting to play that sort of measured performance in Star Trek. What was that like for you personally, and did you want to differentiate Tuvok from the other Vulcan characters that we've seen?
And my character actually obviously had a well-known history in terms of what Nimoy put together and some of the other characters that had been portrayed. So it was important to me to be able to come in at the ground level with a solid foundation of what this character, what the walk and talk is for this character, and it had to be right. It had to be perfect. I put sort of an amalgam of the other Vulcan characters that I had seen over the years as a basis for him, just to get him off the road or off the runway rather for the series. And his character was a 100% Vulcan, where Spock's was only half. So I kind of added that element into it as well, a little bit more staunch, a little bit more stoic, because I wanted to make sure. And I was attuned to the fact that the fans might be also watching with a very keen eye as to see how that character was portrayed. And I made every effort to make him as Vulcan, if you will, as I possibly could.
Now, at the end of the series, we got to see Voyager return, but we didn't really get to see what happened next. So, Ethan, I want to know for you, what's your personal headcanon for what Neelix would be up to right now?
He's up on an asteroid. He married a gal named Dexa, and they have a son named Brax. I suspect he opened a restaurant, maybe McNeelix, possibly. I know he had 7 other sons.
Did you say McNeelix?
He had 7 sons. Orcs, yaks, rats, pox.
No, Robbie. Oh, McNeill.
Oh,
Is that?
Or are you going into all McNeill today?
I think that's not the only time you got a cease and desist from another franchise, is it?
Oh, I don't know, Mike. I think he's probably very happy. I think he's very wealthy. I know he divorced Dexa.
Stop it. Stop it.
He's got a whole. I think Ethan has actually written a couple of, like an 8-part novel series about Neelix and what happened to him.
I was not expecting all of that for an answer, but I'm glad we asked this question.
No, Neelix was a happy guy. Neelix was a guy who got on that ship and had lost his entire family, all his race. And he was, I guess he had abandonment issues, but he wanted so much to be accepted. He wanted so much to have a home. That's why he was sometimes a little needy. But I think that stemmed from it. That's how I looked at it. Anyway.
I loved you. The captain loved you.
You annoyed the hell out of me.
Who doesn't? That said, I think that he found a home. He found a good home. And yet at the same time, I think it was great that he left because there was nothing more for him to gain from those people anymore. They had a life to live back on Earth. He didn't. He had to go someplace with his own people.
And John Ethan, do you remember that you were actually the first cast member to leave? And that really took it out of me that day. We gave you a big clap. I think there was champagne. Everybody came down. But it really hit me hard. That was hard to do the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, it was sad when you're with people for 7 years, and we shot 10 months a year. We didn't have a long hiatus. We were working all the time for 7 years, and you get very close, not just to the cast, but to the crew, to all the ancillary people. And when I walked down that hallway at the end, they had everybody, the crew, in Star Trek uniforms. So when I was walking down that hall, I wasn't just saying goodbye to my cast members. I was saying goodbye to everybody who worked on that series. It was very emotional.
I feel like when we finished our 7-year run, at least for me, if I'm being honest, I was thrilled that it was ending on one level. Like I was ready to move on, if I'm being honest. I was like, this is 7 years and I want to move on. And I think what I realize now, all these years later, is how lucky we were. And if I could go back there and have, another year with these guys, I would really treasure it.
Would you do it? Would you do it?
Good people. Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely, which is honestly the perfect segue into our final question to close our little time together out. For Kate, I want to know, in honor of Star Trek Day, what does it mean to you to be a part of this family that spans over half a century and is still going strong after all this time?
It means that it was my moment of real creative kismet. I will return to being the first female captain as something far beyond my wildest dreams. And yet, as it unfolded and happened to me, I was aware of the privilege, of the magnitude, of the size, the universal size of this thing. And then to add to that, the friendships that unfolded as a result of the casting on Voyager and the 7 years. I would say that although at the time I thought, oh my God, am I going to survive this? I will tell you now that just like Robbie, I could step back. It was that good, it was that honorable, and it was that fine. A life-altering decade, yes.
That was so beautiful. What a perfect bow. What a perfect bow for this beautiful present that we've all shared today. So thank you guys all so much for joining me, and it has been a real pleasure talking to you on this momentous anniversary for Star Trek Voyager.
Mica, thank you. This has been a great pleasure.
Yes.
Wonderful
Thank
to
you.
see all
Thank
you
you.
guys.
And
Wonderful
wonderful
to see you guys.
You and your
Take care.
dad in the frame together.
Yeah,
Yes.
he needed to come say hello. And if everybody watching wants to catch up on Voyager, you can stream all 7 seasons right now on CBS All Access in the US. And if you're just tuning in, today's Star Trek Day event is happening all in support of our Star Trek United campaign. For every person that tweets the hashtag Star Trek United Gives, CBS All Access will donate $1 to organizations who do the real-world work of championing equality, social justice, and the pursuit of scientific advancements. All very Star Trek things. So everyone, thank you again for chatting. I hope you all have a wonderful Star Trek Day.
Thank you. Take care, guys. Have a good one.
Happy
Bye,
Star
everybody.
Trek Day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.